Hey guys, today we're going to look at algebraic fractions like we talked about in our Zoom class yesterday. In simplifying algebraic fractions, you need to factor your numerator and denominator as much as possible. That's the key. Okay, is factor numerator and denominator as much as possible. So that means, there's a typo in the first example. So the first example should have an x in the numerator here. So in the numerator here, I have a GCF I'm looking for. X goes into both of these. So my GCF is x, and then I have 3x minus 2. In my denominator, I have a GCF of 2x times 3x minus 2. And you can only cross simplify when you have common factors. So if you think about like basic numbers, like if you have 6/10, right, you can only cross simplify because you're really breaking the 6 down into 2 times 3, and you're breaking the 10 down into 2 times 5. And then when you have common factors, you're crossing out those common factors. 2 goes into both of them. So here it's the same thing. You have common factors of 3x minus 2 for both of them. You also, now when you have monomials can have common factors because remember, 2x is really 2 times x. So you can break down the common factor x here. So your final answer is whatever's left. Whatever's left in the numerator is just a 1. And in the denominator, you have a 2 left. So it's 1/2. Okay? Notice I'm also skipping easy examples. Like in your homework, numbers 1 through 7, I skipped over easy examples. Make sure you know how to do the section on numbers 1 through 7 on your homework. The answers are posted. I skipped over them because they're all easy problems. Okay, in example 2, I look at the numerator. I need to factor it. GCF is r times r minus 1. In my denominator, I have a GCF of r squared times r squared minus 1. Now, r minus 1 and r squared minus 1 are not the same thing. Those are not common factors, but you'll notice that r squared minus 1 is difference of squares. So that can be factored again into r plus 1 times r minus 1. Now I have everything broken down to its most basic factors. Now I can cross-cancel common factors. R minus 1 and r minus 1 are common factors. The r plus 1 doesn't have a common factor, so that one will stay in the denominator. The monomials, remember r squared is really r times r, so you don't have to show that part. I'm just showing you, like, so this r crosses out with one of these r's, leaving you with one r in the denominator. So that, we're going to leave it outside the parentheses. And in the numerator, it's like there's nothing left, so you put a 1. This is your final answer. You're going to leave it like that. Do not distribute the r into the r plus 1. This is called factored form. You want to leave your answers in factored form, meaning that you could see the factors, that a person could see that nothing else can be crossed out as common factors. Okay, so do not distribute the r back in. Going on to example 3, I have in my numerator, I have a GCF of 5 times m minus 3. In my denominator, I don't have a GCF, but I have 2 binomials that this can be broken down into. So I have m and m. Factors of 30 are 3 and 10, and they're both going to be negative. Looking for common factors, I have a common factor of m minus 3 for both of those, and that's it. 5 is a monomial. M minus 10 is a binomial. 5 doesn't go into m minus 10, right? It has to go into the whole thing. So your final answer is just 5 over m minus 10. If you want to put parentheses around the m minus 10, you can, but you don't have to. You could leave it like this, okay? But if you want to, you can put parentheses to show that 5 is not a factor of m minus 10. Okay, next. Example 4. Looking at my numerator, my GCF is 3z times z minus 1. In my denominator, I have a GCF of 3 times z squared minus 4z plus 3. This denominator here can be factored into 2 binomials. I have z times z, 1 times 3, and the factor, they're both negative. Signs are the same, so this is gone now. And I'm looking to cross out common factors. Z minus 1 can cross out with z minus 1. Nothing for the z minus 3, so the z minus 3 is going to be in the denominator. And then for the monomials, 3z and 3 have a common factor of 3. These cross out. So you have z in the numerator and z minus 3 in the denominator. That's it. I kind of made it a little lopsided there, but let me move the z over. So the z, So the z is in the numerator and the z minus 3 is in the denominator. And again, you can't cross simplify that. You can't cross cancel anymore. You can't simplify anymore because z is not a factor of z minus 3. It has to go into the whole thing. They have to have a common factor throughout the whole thing. Last example, example 5. My numerator has a GCF of 2 times x squared minus 9. My denominator does not have a GCF. I have to factor into 2 binomials. Notice a is greater than 1, so I have to do a little guess and check. 2x times x is 2x. So the 9, it'll be either 1 times 9 or 3 times 3. I'll try 3 times 3. Outsides give me 6x, insides give me 3x, and that works. I get a negative 3x if I have a negative 6 and a positive 3. So I'm going to put the negative here to get negative 6x and the positive here. I'm not done factoring though, because you'll notice that x squared minus 9 is difference of squares. So that's going to factor into, I'll write it over here, 2 times x plus 3, x minus 3. And my denominator is 2x plus 3 times x minus 3. In this example, there is only one common factor to be crossed out. That's the x minus 3's. What's left here, there are no common factors. I know there are similar looking things, like there's a 2 and there's a 2 and there's a x plus 3 kind of and a 2x plus 3, but none of them are common factors. There has to be exactly what you see. Like you would have to see exactly x plus 3, which we don't have. We have 2x plus 3. And here you have a monomial of 2. That monomial of 2 doesn't have any other common monomial factors. So that's it. You can't do anything more. This is your final answer. 2 times x plus 3 over 2x plus 3. Okay, we'll do a bunch more of these and you guys can ask questions in class on Monday. Okay, thanks.